Hello, I'm Michelle Freiberger, and I have been traveling as a nurse practitioner since April of 2015, and it's March 30th, 2016 today, so it's been almost a year. I had been trying to find some YouTube videos about other people, other nurses, nurse practitioners that have traveled. I hadn't seen a lot, so I thought maybe I could help somebody out there make that decision. A little about me. I've been a nurse since, registered nurse since 1996 and a nurse practitioner since 2001. the Before I started traveling for the 4 years before, I had been working in pain management, and after 4 years of that job, even though I really loved the people that I worked with, the work itself was just kind of weighing me down. I started losing my compassion. I felt like my patients were trying to just always get something out of me and wanting drugs. And I was working in Kentucky, and there was a lot of changes going on, which personally I think were good for the state. But I felt like I was losing my skills. And I'm certified family, and I had been missing out on like 4 years of knowledge and experience. And I realized that was possibly detrimental to my career. And I realized that pain management is not where I wanted to end my career. So, um, I had wanted to travel ever since I first heard that that was a possibility as a nurse, so years and years. And because I was just feeling so defeated, it just seemed like the perfect time for me. My father had gotten sick, and he had had cancer, got cancer in 2014. So there was a year of, dealing with that. And when things started settling down, and things seemed to be going smoothly, the first thing for me is I needed to get support from my family. So I brought the idea up to my father and to my aunts and my mom and my brother, my sister-in-law, everybody who I felt might be affected by me leaving. And everybody, of course, was very supportive. They know that this is what I really wanted to do. So I just started to look into it. I had contacted several different agencies, and believe me, once you start contacting agencies, they will hound you. I mean, I got calls all the time, and I'm still getting calls all the time, to the point I just had to just tell people, stop calling, because it just got to be really annoying after a while. Really, the agency I decided to go with, I think it was the recruiter. I just felt a connection with him. He just seemed really genuine and really helpful. And I read a lot about the company and what they had to offer. They offered insurance, housing, 401k, and that was just very appealing. And the 401k, they match, so it just that was how I went. And really, it was the recruiter himself, because he just is a great guy and has really helped me so much. Because I had been working in pain management and I hadn't had experience in family for the years prior to starting, I was really limited in my options. And I was fine with that. I just wanted to just go. So he told me a list of the different places that I might be able to go to work. And the first priority was I had to get some references. So I interviewed with a few different places and decided to go with a company in South Dakota, which was in the middle of nowhere. And, of course, who thinks about going to South Dakota, right? uh, but I decided, I talked to the doctor, and she seemed great. And it just seemed like it would be a really good place to start, and that I just needed to start. And I wound up originally I was only supposed to be there for about 1 to 2 months, and I wound up staying for 4 months. So I got on the plane, or so I made that decision and made sure that housing was included. You know, I was flying there, so they provided a car for me to use. It was I made sure, do I have to, is it a limited amount of miles? I could drive it, but no, I could drive the car wherever I wanted the whole length of my stay. And so it just really seemed like an excellent deal. So I got on, they paid for my flight out there. And once I got there and I started, the housing was great. The only thing that I had a little bit of a problem with is that they didn't tell me until pretty much everything was signed and I was getting ready to leave that I was going to be in shared housing. So I that kind of bothered me a little. I felt like they kind of, snuck that in at the very end. But, I figured, I'm only going to be there at the time for a couple months, and I really want to meet new people anyway, so it might not be a bad thing. So I got there, and the housing was better than I ever could imagine. I had, of course, my own room. They gave me a Toyota Camry, or a Corolla. It was a Corolla, but it was in fine working condition. And there was a garage, a basement. There was a safe room, washer and dryer, everything that you would need to be there. The actual furniture was really sparse. There wasn't Wi-Fi. There wasn't internet. And actually, that turned out not to be such a bad thing. It was kind of nice not having TV or internet. I wound up reading a lot and getting some exercise videos, P90X, and I did that. And the job itself was excellent. It was a great setup. In the middle of nowhere, they have this awesome hospital. The people were amazing. One of the things that I didn't know how people would accept me. Like, here I am traveling to this place, are the people I work with going to be resentful and not want to work with me, not being friendly? And that turned out not to be true. Everybody, for the most part, there's one person, but other than that, it was a great experience. The one thing I've realized about traveling that I really like a lot is that you don't really get caught up in the office politics. You hear about all the stuff that's going around, but I went as, I'm here, they're giving me something, I'm giving them something. I'm here to help them. They have a need. They're actually pretty desperate for people, and I was able to help. And the patients were great. It was on the IHS, Indian Health Services. I'd never worked for IHS before, and it turned out that it was a really good place to work. The only thing, their computer systems was just awful, their EMR, but I got used to that after a while. So pretty much after a month, they wanted me to extend my stay, and I was just really enjoying it. And I honestly was a little bit afraid to go anywhere else because I wanted to hone my skills a little bit more. So I decided to stay with the only thing is that I wanted to go home for a week. And so they paid for me to go home for a week. They bought my ticket, flew me home, flew me back. And I stayed for an additional couple months. And during that time, I was able to get out and see South Dakota, North Dakota, which was Wyoming. I saw a lot of, had a lot of really good experiences. If you're afraid of being somewhere by yourself, really, you don't have to be unless that's what you want. You just have to reach out a little bit. For example, making friends. Meetup.com is an excellent place to meet people in different parts of the United States. I joined a hiking club and we went hiking. I posted a little video also of some of the experiences that I had in South Dakota. So, all in all, it was an excellent experience, and I just hope I, this is my. I'm just getting started at this YouTube thing, so if you have any questions, my cat, I'm at my second assignment now, and I wasn't able to bring my cat with the first assignment, but this assignment, I was like, I need to go somewhere with my cat, Willow. Say hello. And so they they were able to accommodate that need as well. And I think even though my cat, I don't think she really liked the journey in a car. I'm in New Mexico now, but I think she's glad to be with me. So I'm glad to have her. Anyway, that's a little bit about just starting out as a nurse practitioner or traveling. And so I guess I'll end that and see how this goes. So, all right, thank you for watching.